Thanks, Tim, for joining us today on Wisdom Wednesdays. I really appreciate you being a part of it, and I can't wait to pick your brain on all things social media.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
I would love to kick it over to you and just introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about where you work, what you do, and how you got there.
Well, Tim McGarry. I work at Guild Mortgage. I got here. So I was playing football before, and my mom is in the industry, and so she wanted me to. I went on this event trip in Hawaii for like the top producers of Guild, and I went there as my mom's, I guess, date, and so I was still playing football at the time, but I was kind of on the way out, and I was meeting with a lot of these loan officers, and one of them really started talking to me, and I mean, it seemed like it was the most amazing job. So he convinced me, and I didn't convince me because I wanted to go with him, but he convinced me pretty much to go to Idaho, and Boise, and thank God I did because he's the greatest person to learn from. But he convinced me to do this and try it for a year with him, and I was hooked probably within like the first 3 months, and so that's how I got really hooked into this industry.
Very nice. I know a lot of it is we both kind of just fall into the industry. My mom was also well, she was on the real estate side, and so I kind of grew up with it, and I feel like that's how a lot of people just kind of fall into the mortgage industry.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. And a
Yeah.
lot of people don't understand how much it's competition, which is what Terry Hefner, he's amazing. He's the best loan officer, best mentor, best everything. But it's just competition, and he related it to football a lot because he played football at Boise, and so I think it's fun.
So you do a lot on social media. You do a lot kind of building your brand, doing a lot for loan officers. You want to talk a little bit about how you got started on social?
Well, yeah. So, God, maybe six years ago or 7 years ago, I had a lot of things happen, and I had to I was living in a wheelchair. And what happened then was I have a really good friend named Billy Shaw, but he's got a marketing company called Billy Jean Marketing, and he is a phenomenal marketer. And so the idea and the thing I loved about being a loan officer is you go and create relationships with realtors, and then they end up giving you business. And if you do a good job, you can help their business and all that stuff. And so I couldn't meet with anybody because I was in a wheelchair, and I was trying to, and I had a friend drive me, and I'd be in a wheelchair. We'd pop the chair out and kind of and go to these events or meetings and stuff. But I talked to Billy, and he was just he knows how to market to people and how social media works and how to do it, and how our industry, even after he teaches people, we just still have it so wrong of what to do. And so I pretty much was like, how do I do business when I can't meet with anybody? And people, rightfully so, were hesitant to give someone that's been in the hospital, got like 10 times 3 years of that period. Why would you keep giving them business? And so I had to create new relationships and try to find new ways of getting business my way. And so through learning from Billy, I was able to start marketing and doing advertising and doing things that put myself out there to get myself leads, so I can either give them to realtors or to get new business my way, because it was hard to generate business when I was always in and out of the hospital, and things like 16, 17 surgeries in like 5 years or so. And so I had to find a way to get business. And so
That's incredible how you were able to overcome everything that you went through and still came out of it with business and with the mindset of just keep pushing forward. And I feel like that's really inspiring. So thank you for sharing that story.
no, thank you.
So once you got kind of started on social media, how did you know that it was the social aspect that was really increasing your business or building on that brand?
It was through business coming in. I would do fun videos. I would do ads. I mean, I can't sing, but I would do a video of me singing. I can't dance, and I would do a video of me dancing and singing. So, which is a tough combination if you can't do both. But I would do videos like that, and I would start people would start passing around. Realtors would reach out to me, and the ultimate goal was that people got to see what I was talking about in the video. And there's a lot of pre-COVID and pandemic, when it was normalized market, being able to, California, it's tough to buy a home, and then talk to them about down payment assistance. A lot of realtors don't know you don't need to put 20% down and you can get rid of mortgage insurance. So finding ways to tell them, because now they have clients who are like, oh, I can send them that way. And so through just videos and stuff of people just reaching out, and a lot of messages and Instagram were just coming in that I had to start figuring out how to get through. And that kind of just started exploding and really helped me out.
It's really funny that part of kind of building that brand is making a fool of yourself almost. Like, I mean, like you said, you can't sing or dance, but and yet you did both. I mean, that's showing them the real you. It's showing them that you're unapologetically Tim, and this is what you're going to get. This is who you're working with. I think that's great. And I think that's a big part of what social media should be, because a lot of it today is so, it's the highlight reel, right? Like it's the highlight of your life and the story of this perfect person, which isn't the case a lot of times. And so for you to just show your authentic self, I mean, that's probably why you've been so successful. And if is there one tip that you'd like to kind of tell people of maybe they're just starting out in the business, or they're just trying to figure out how to start on social? Is there any tips that you would give them just to figure out how to get going?
Yeah, that's kind of a loaded question. There's a lot of like different avenues I can go into that, but I would say the reason people go on social media. So there's two different avenues you want to go with social media. Do you want to do advertising, where you're just directly advertising to people you know are going to eventually buy? And a lot of people don't know how to do that, and that I think is the most powerful tool you have. And then using AI and a lot of tools to really explode that. And a lot of people just don't realize, they just kind of put one ad out there and they're like, oh, well, I didn't get business. But that's really the worst thing you can do, because there's a lot that goes into it. It is easy, as everyone says, but there's also a formula that if you follow will really, really be beneficial. But the biggest thing is, think about the ads. If you're going to do that route, I think that's a very powerful route. If you're going to do advertising with other realtors as a lender, or if you're a realtor doing advertising, Zillow and these other things that have been so great, you can do better than, and you can personalize it and really kind of draw that into putting more attention to you. And it's the same thing when you're looking to buy. If you're trying to buy, I mean, I go on Instagram and I don't even want some of the stuff I go buy, and I go back and I'm like, oh, that was pretty good. And then I'll save the ad because I'm like, how do they get my attention? And then you kind of go through this, and why would you stop? The reason you're on Instagram or scrolling through people we don't know is, you're in the bathroom, you're through commercials, you're in a car ride, you're doing something that's passing time. So, my advice is stop just posting, be yourself, be authentic. But, the post every day of things that kind of like, if someone goes to your page, they're going to get lost. But I mean, there is a lot of people that say you need to post 7 times every 3 days and these stories and stuff. But I just think if that's who you are, do it. Be yourself, but make sure you're giving something that's really beneficial. Don't just talk to talk. I think you have to have a message, and people are already weary of us in our industry. And I think you got to really show value. There's a lot of, stick to your niche. Like Guild has like so many different programs we can work with. But what is it that you can help with best? If it's first-time home buyers, don't show jumbos and talk about jumbos to first-time home buyers. Stick to who you're talking to. And, if it's someone that needs down payment assistance, really, if that's your niche, stick in that route, stick into that kind of lane, and, be yourself. Don't do videos as a do them. I think that kind of gets lost. I get lost when I go through that. So I would just say be yourself on all of it, and really decide what you're going to do. If you're just starting out, I would really look into how you can market yourself and do advertising and generate your own leads. So you can look for realtors and say, hey, I have some value here. Just because they're not, you can't say, if I give you this, give it to me, but it is kind of implied, even if they don't, that's fine. You're still showing value and you're getting out there and you're getting business. It's hard to generate your own business and develop trust from realtors because it's their commission. So having them just send it to you is hard for them. Even if they love you, they've got someone they worked with for 5-10 years. So finding ways to stick out, be yourself, and then do that through social media, get your own business.
I love that. And I like how you said, find your niche and stick with it. Like it's really important to figure out what your value is, like you said, and really lean into that. You don't have to do it all. You don't have to present that you know it all. It's you're really good at one thing and you stick to that route, and you can be really, really good at that thing, and that's what they're going to send you. And so yeah, those are great points. Thank you so much for being on today. I really appreciate you being a part of Wisdom Wednesdays and helping the impact community. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.